Today I'm doing a Counter Fairy deck profile. We were going to use this yesterday at the Tulsa, Oklahoma regionals, but we actually got in a car accident on the way there about 7 in the morning yesterday in Oklahoma. So we were unable to go, but we'll use this next week at Locals. I've been using it a lot on Dueling Book, finding a lot of success with it, testing out some different stuff. Definitely inspired by Team Samurai's profile, but some different little changes to it. I like to run hand traps, so let's get into this. First thing we run Triple Bountiful Artemis in the ulti art. Really great card. It basically makes the deck super viable. Draw one card. You're playing almost 20 hand traps, or not hand traps, counter traps. 3 Guiding Ariadne. This makes the deck extremely possible and to run the entire Solemn package. You don't have to do anything for Ultimate Providence. You don't have to discard or pay life points for Rebirth of Parshath, so this card is huge. You play 3 of this. Play 2 Minerva. I like Minerva a lot. The condition where you have to have Sanctuary in the sky on the field, it's not a huge deal for the search because you get another counter trap, but the fact that it gains 500 every time one is activated is really huge. Now we're in our one-ofs. We play 1 Zeratius. I've gotten some opinions on this that we might not actually keep running this or the original Sanctuary in the sky. But I like it because it's 2100 beater if you need it, or you can get Sanctuary for your other counter traps, like Divine Punishment or the effects of some of the monsters. We run 1 Sacred Arc, Arch Knight. It's kind of a brick if you draw it, but it runs another target that you can summon from your deck with Rebirth of Parshath if you have already gotten something in your extra monster zone. 2800 beater, and then with Sanctum it makes it 31, so pretty good card. Melteal, I like Melteal a lot. Again, has that condition, but the gain 1000, and if you don't have this guy, Ariadne, on the field, then you still gain 1000. If you use Solemn Strike, you only lose 500, something like that. We run 1 Power Angel Valk, just to search. Basically, I like to search for Ariadne if I don't have it, and if not, then I do Bountiful Artemis. And then that's it for the main fairy monsters. My variant on it is I like to run hand traps in the main deck. So I run 2 Ash, just because of how the meta is right now and the search and special summon abilities of like every meta deck. I run 2 Ash and I run 2 Ogre. I didn't want to run any Drolls. I run Droll inside deck. Obviously with this deck, like the number one thing you want to do is run those counter traps and get as many on the field as possible so that you can just stun your opponent basically and attack a little bit at a time. Set up a board with ties and just blow them out of the water. So that's going to be it for our monsters. Moving to our spells, the first thing we do is we run 3 Sanctum of Parshath. This basically is the Sanctuary in the sky on the field, except it also gives 300 attack and defense to all your fairy monsters, and then it also has a graveyard to deck effect in case you're running low, because I do run Desires and also some Demises. I'm not running 3, but we'll get into that in a minute. So this is a really good card. You can't search it with Zeratius or anything, but that's why we run the 1 Sanctuary in the sky. We're running 2 Card of Demise. I was running 3 for a while. I found 3 to be really bricky. Kind of like, you'll see, I'm only running 1 Pot of Desires. I found that I might draw a Card of Demise, a Ties, and into a Pot of Desires, and then my deck is low. So I cut that to 2, and then I cut Ties to 2. You definitely need to run some Ties, though, because this will get you into your link plays, because a lot of the times, if you don't have enough counter traps, then your opponent is just going to take all your monsters off the board since they're such low attack. So Ties is big. It's only 2,000 cost to get 2 extra. We run, right now, 2 Pot of Desires. I have really thought about cutting this down to 1, just because I seem to always draw the 2, and we are only running a 40 card deck. Sanctuary, the search for Zeratius, and the main thing for Divine Punishment, as well as some of our monster effects like Minerva for search. You need that on the field, and Melteal for destroy. So onto our traps. Obviously we're running a lot of counter traps and a lot of stuns. So first thing we're running is 3 Ultimate Providence, because with Ariadne on the field this is huge, and if you have something dead in your hand, then this can get rid of it and you still negate, and then your monster can pick up like its activation effect. We're running 3 Rebirth, could go down to 2. I am running 2 Storming Mirror Force because of today's metagame. I've been debating between the Storming Mirror Force and you guys will see it in my side deck, but Negate Attack, just because it's another counter trap. But this is huge right now with all the links and the Xyz coming out on the field when they're spamming field with like Pendulum. We're running one Divine Punishment right now because I find it really bricky to get this without a Sanctuary, and then it's just dead in hand. So I'm keeping that at 1 for now. I do have 2 in my side deck. In my side deck can change up, but right now I like it the way it is. And then lastly, we're running the Solemn package. So we're running 3 strike, 1 warning, 1 judgment. You have Ariadne on the field, you can basically negate anything. You don't pay anything for any of these. Judgment, negate, whatever. Warning, negate a summon, strike, effects. I mean, that's pretty huge. So for the extra deck, we are running 2 Avenging Knight Parshafts for the Rebirth. Super easy target. I mean, 2600 becomes 29 with Sanctum on the field. I mean, just another fairy monster. It does piercing battle damage. So those are our only synchros that we're running right now. We're running 2 number 39 Utopias, along with our 2 number S39 Utopia Lightnings for our attack power, since we're kind of low unless we just stack Minerva with counter traps. And then a Utopia Prime to clear. We're running 1 Diamond Dire Wolf, Gaga Cowboy, Tornado Dragon for back row and for problematic field spells like True Draco and Dragonic Diagram, 1 Castel, and 1 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. So onto the side deck, I run 2 Droll and Lock just in case someone's really annoying me with searching in deck and drawing cards. 2 Barrier Statue of the Heavens. This can make people just end their turns basically. You can only special summon light monsters, so that's kind of hard to get around sometimes. 2 Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere modes for those Pendulum. I know that at Tulsa, I just watched some of the videos, there's a lot of Pendulum FTK. So, I mean, this deck wants to go first anyway. So, you get Winged Dragon, you negate some of their stuff, and maybe they make a board and you go Winged Dragon or Ra. I'm running 3 Cosmic Cyclones, subject to go to 2, but, you know, field spells, pendulums. And then this stuff is stuff that has been in the deck. In testing, these are probably the most likely to be main decked at some point. Still testing with this deck, but I got 1 Ties back here. I was running it at 3 in the main deck, but I found it to be kind of bricky. Same with Card of Demise. So that might go back up to 3. That one's probably most likely. 2 Negate Attacks. Counter trap that ends battle phase basically. With monsters on the field, this is kind of huge. Might do this, side this for like Storming if they're not running something that's like super heavy link based. And then 2 Divine Punishments. These have also been in the main deck a lot, but recently I find that if I don't have Sanctuary or Sanctum, that I just have to use it for Rebirth, and sometimes I don't get Rebirth. So yeah, so that's my deck profile. If you guys have any opinions, comments, suggestions, just let me know. Thanks.